Week 14, Major League Soccer. We have the best picks that you need to be playing. We have some great predictions on a whole bunch of games. Let's get into it. Just finished 13 games on a Wednesday. Now we have 15 this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We're here to talk about 9 of them. We have some really nice plays and picks for you. So we will get right into it. Let's just get right into the show. First, a quick recap here. Those of you watching on Spotify video or YouTube can see our picks for the week. A small minus midweek, which is okay in my book because midweek we know how volatile that is. Scott leading the charge again, 2 wins and a loss, plus 107, 1 unit, 0.07. Myself and Deon with just about a 3/4 of a unit lost. 5 and 6 on 11 wagers, minus 0.43 units total. That brings us to 9.52 units in the plus on the season. Scott turning a corner, finally passing Alex for second place there with a couple of really good bets. He's the hottest one on the show by far by now. So maybe, listen to his picks this week as he brings them around. Gentlemen, are you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do this.
Matchday 14 starts for us. We're skipping the first 3 games. No plays on those. But we do have some plays for Atlanta United hosting the Philadelphia Union. Atlanta, they are in shambles. They are in a hot losing streak right now. And the Philadelphia Union, they're scoring again. And good for us, they're conceding again. Let's take a look at some of the odds that we have here. Atlanta United, plus 125 to win. The draw is at plus 240. And Philadelphia to win is at plus 200. You have an over-under of 2.5 goals, minus 144 if you think they're going to score 3 or more, and plus 118 if you think they're going to keep it under 3. Gentlemen, we have 2 official plays, myself and Scott. Scott, why don't you go first?
Well, I agree with the sportsbook here. I think over 2.5 goals is extremely likely from these teams. I don't need either team to do it all together. But 144, minus 144, just a little not enough juice for me. Look, I think if Philly scores 2 goals, Philly doesn't lose this game. I think if this game gets into a shootout, if this game doesn't end 1-0, I think Philly doesn't lose this game. So I just did a little Philly double chance with the over 2.5. That's plus 145. I agree with the sportsbook. I think this game's got multiple 3 goals in it. If you look at Atlanta at home, they're about 3 goals a game. Philly on the road, they are 3 goals a game. Go on then.
Love it. I have a very similar play. I'm taking the Philadelphia team total. I do think Atlanta is one of those teams that is going to maybe not turn around and become fantastic, but put a couple goals in the back of the net. I think they definitely have the caliber player in order to be able to do that. But Philadelphia, each of their last 5 matches, they've scored 2 goals. They've scored 13 goals total in that span. In Atlanta right now, they have no wins in their last 7 matches, being outscored 4-12 in that span. They're conceding 1.43 goals per game, which is better than their 2.17 goals per game conceded on the road. However, their home matches have been against Nashville, New England, Dallas, and Red Bull. I think that skews Atlanta to make their defense at home look a little better than they really are. I'm taking Philadelphia scoring 2 here. Deon, this is your team that we're talking trash about.
Hey, it's all truth, though. It's all truth. Atlanta, they are in shambles. Watched the game last night. Was not happy. We got extremely lucky to get a point out of last night's match.
There will be 2 official plays here. Myself, team total over 1.5 for Philadelphia, plus 136. And Scott taking Philly on the double chance and over 2.5 goals at plus 145. Heading now to Charlotte, who are hosting the Chicago Fire. Charlotte's 6 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses. Chicago 4-4-4. This is a 7:30 p.m. game. We have some good odds here. Minus 105 for Charlotte to win, plus 240 if you favor Chicago, or plus 280 for the draw. Over 2.5 goals, minus 162. The sportsbooks are agreeing there are a lot of goals to be had here. And the under of 2.5 goals at plus 132. All four of us have an official play. Let's go to Alex first.
I like these odds, man. Charlotte, both teams to score, yes, at plus 250. I mean, I saw plus 250. I was like, I thought something was wrong here. I was like, I'm going to jump on this. I think Charlotte's going to win. What I'm worried about is maybe a tie might screw me out of this, but there's goals here that both teams are going to score. I'm not worried about that. Charlotte plus 250 and both teams to score. I really like it. To me, the odds are just saying, take me. That's what I did.
Charlotte's on a 4-game losing streak, but 3 of those matches are away. And here are big differences that Charlotte's playing at home.
They're a different team at home than on the road for sure.
Absolutely. And they were prepared for this match. They started Tuklamati last night in place of Ajimang. So Ajimang is going to be there. Pep Beal, Wilfred Zaha is back, scoring 2 out of his last 3. Deon, can you get on this with us?
Yeah, on this one, I definitely went with Charlotte to score goals in this one. I went with the team total over the 1.5. I know it's a negative 130, but I think that's just an easy. I'm trying to get in the positive here, get some wins under my belt. My record's not too good, but yeah, I think that Charlotte at home are a different team than what they are away. They are averaging 2.2 goals there at home, so I went with the team total over 1.5.
Over to Scott.
Look, I kept it really simple. I just took Charlotte to win straight up. It's minus 105 here. It was minus 110 when I was looking at it. Look, Charlotte at home have scored 13 times in 6 games. They have conceded 3 times, 3 goals. That's it in 6 games. That's a half a goal a game. So I really favor that sort of history over a bit of recent form. How road, games can be tough in this league. So I really like that. Chicago on the road, not too bad this year, but still a negative goal difference, conceding like 2.5 goals a game on the road. So I like Charlotte minus 105, minus 110. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, Charlotte, they've scored 13 goals in 6 home games, but only 7 goals in 7 away games. I think this is kind of a slam dunk. Chicago, they've seen 43 goals in 12 games. I mean, it's just crazy. 3.58 average. What keeps Charlotte from putting a second one in the back of the net? My official play here is just going to be the team total over 1.5 at minus 130. Sometimes you need to take these like single strand if you're not really hot in the sports book. A team total, a team to win, even at lower odds than you want. Stop complicating it. And I think that's kind of what we were all thinking, just targeting this match. And even if you like Chicago, the sportsbook odds for this one are insane. You're getting plus money all over the board. I really like what the offerings here are. Let's move now to the New England Revolution. They are 5-2-4, hosting the 5-2-6 Earthquakes. Looking at some odds, got the home odds, minus 110 for the New England Revolution. They are home favorites at negative money. Look at that. Quakes, plus 240 away. The over of 2.5 goals is one of the most likely of the week, minus 154, while the under of 2.5 goals, plus 126. You have some team totals there for those of you who are keeping track at home. Alex, you have the one official play in this, and I think you're seeing it the same way the sportsbook is here.
Yeah, Rago going down does not scare me. San Jose scores a lot of goals and gives up a lot of goals. So in this game, I see an over 2.5. There's going to be 3 goals somehow in this game. Bruce Arena coming home. He's not going to get embarrassed. That for sure. He's got this game circled on his calendar. Over 2.5. I know the odds are but I to me this is I like to chalk up a couple wins too there. So let's take the over on this 2.5. Was it minus 154? Yeah, I think this is pretty much, unless there's some kind of rain, downpour, hurricane, tornado, something I don't see coming at the New England game. This should be a 3-goal game.
I mean, you still have Joseph Martinez and, scoring against the New England Revolution.
San Jose's defense, talk about the lack of, they give up goals like crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised if New England got 3 alone. I mean, I'll tell you that right now.
I might be surprised if New England got 3 alone, but I do like what you're saying here.
This is the week they can do it. Let's put
This
it
is
that
the
way.
week to do it for sure.
They can do it. That's the thing. They can do it.
Joseph Martinez is going to be fresh for this match. I think he subbed in really late last night, and he loves playing on turf. You remember that from his old days in Atlanta. I want to see him at Gillette Stadium put in 1 or 2 just himself. Love that handicap. And gentlemen, anything to add?
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
One
This
official
is gonna
play over 2.5 goals at -165. You're paying a heavy price, but, slow and steady wins the race here. Austin looking good. 5 wins, 2 draws, 6 losses, while the Vancouver Whitecaps are 8-3-1. This game is Saturday, 8:30 at Q2 Stadium. Odds show Austin FC are home underdogs, +175. Vancouver Whitecaps are away favorites at +140 and 240 for the draw. Over 2.5 goals, -116. Under 2.5 goals, -106. That is kind of hesitant from the sports book here. I have an official play, but Scott, why don't you talk about this first and give us a lean?
Look, Vancouver is incredible. It didn't matter to them when they were doing midweek games earlier this season for the Champions Cup. It shouldn't matter to them now. Brian White actually has been out injured, so some of that stress has been out of his legs. He came back in, he scored goals, he's going to be fit for this game. I would not pick against Vancouver. Austin's good at home, but Austin's offense really isn't it. I know Brandon Vasquez scored another goal this weekend or this in the midweek. I don't care. I still don't have any faith in that offense. They're keeping things close. Defense isn't bad, but look, if Vancouver can get 2 goals, that's probably the end of it. You know what I mean? So can Brian White get 2 goals? Yeah, he probably can. So I would lean towards Vancouver.
Austin is only seeing 1.57 goals per game at home. Not them. Total. So we're playing towards unders here. Do they have the power to take the game script away from Vancouver? Probably not. Deon, you have an official play in this match?
I kind of, to build on what Scott was saying there, like Austin shows no offense there at home or away, and they're playing pretty good defense. So and then also Vancouver on the road, they're only allowing 0.4 goals a match on the road. I went with Vancouver double chance just to be safe and under 2.5 goals in this one at I believe 142. And I just think that's a good play because I think that Vancouver definitely will beat Austin. Austin, like I said, I watched the game last night for Austin versus Atlanta, and they played pretty good defense. It was just one instance. That was it for Atlanta the whole game pretty much, except for one breakaway that Almiron missed. But yeah, I had to go with the Whitecaps double chance just to be safe, but I think we're going to see under 2.5 in this one.
I am taking Vancouver on the draw no bet at -124. I just want my money back if this one isn't going to land, if it's 0-0 or 1-1. I think those are the 2 most likely outcomes. And I also have over 2.5, under 2.5 goals at -106, just a straight under. I think this is 1-0 Vancouver, maybe 2-0 Vancouver. I don't think Austin are going to be able to find the back of the net in this one. There is a little volatility. Austin, as we just showed in the previous graphic, they're 5 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses. And what do they have? Like 9 goals on the sea, like some incredibly low number. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay losing both of these bets too. They're even enough. I'm not pairing them together. I'm playing them as 2 separate picks. So we have 3 official plays. Whitecaps double chance and under 2.5 together at +142. Under 2.5 at -106, and the Whitecaps draw no bet at -124. Moving ahead now to Dallas. This is the Copa Tejas rivalry. Now, we just saw the Austin FC versus Vancouver rivalry. I don't know what we're thinking about that one. But here, one of the Texas rivalries here. Dallas 4-4-4, Houston 3-4-6. Saturday, this game is going in Toyota Stadium. You have some home odds here listed. 105 plus for FC Dallas to win. Houston Dynamo +250, and the draw is at +230. over 2.5 goals, -120 for the over, and -102 for the under. I think those records might have been not updated on previously my sheet, but we'll ignore that for now. I have an official play in this. Alex, you have an official play. Deon, you have an official play. It seems like we've all kind of honed in on a few of the same matches here. Alex, why don't you go first?
I like Dallas straight up in this game. Big rivalry game. I know Austin's the newer of the Texas teams, but this has always been they hate each other. I'm gonna take the home team on this. I'm gonna take Dallas. I'm gonna go with just the reason they're home. I don't like Houston on the road here at all. Odds are pretty good to me, plus 105. That's why I took Dallas in this game straight up. I didn't want to fool around with over, under, the double chance, no bet, this, that. I think Dallas is going to win straight up in this game.
Love it. Next official plays, we're going to go to Deon.
Yeah, I like that pick, Alex. I mean, straight up going for it. I did not choose a winner in this one. I think that it could go either way because I feel like both of these teams are equally as bad this season. But I went with an under 2.5 goals at -102. And it's because both teams right now are averaging under a goal. Dallas at home, Houston away. 0.4 for Houston, 0.8 for Dallas there at home. And they're both averaging letting up about 1.3 respectively between home and away. And I just don't see us seeing a lot of goals in this one. I think it's going to be like a 1-0, potentially a 1-1 either way. So I went with the under 2.5 for this match.
I have that exact same play. Sorry, I'm looking for Ralph in the comments. Midweek buys worth looking at. In some cases, yes. Chicago Fire, no, they're playing at Charlotte. New England Revolution, yes, just for the total with San Jose. We just talked about the Vancouver Whitecaps. They had no midweek game. It did not matter because they've been playing midweek games and playing fine, but I think that's even more reason to jump on them. And in this one, you have FC Dallas with no midweek game. That is my lean, but I don't think that makes their offense any better. If anything, maybe they're just a little better prepared on defense because my official play here is going to be the under 2.5 goals at -102. Austin 5-2-6. They're the team who only scored 9 times. Sorry, I might have said that for Austin. They're hosting home matches, seeing only 1.57 goals per. Sorry, that is Austin. I'm all messed up here. Austin, they're playing the under of 2.5 goals 60% of the time at home. Houston is playing to the under of 2.5 goals 80% of the time when they're on the road. According to my model, the under of 2.5 goals has at -102 is offering us 13% advantage on the sportsbook implied probability, which kind of makes this a must bet for this one. The fact that the over is worse odds than the under is a little surprising to me. Maybe they just think these two teams are going to start taking swings at each other. I don't see that as a likely possibility. FC Dallas is fresher, but they're just two good defensive teams, and I'm not sure that I take anything other than just take some unders. Houston had some injuries too in the midweek match that we're going to keep an eye on. I think they might be out one of their strikers there. Moving now to Nashville SC hosting DC United. This is a very common good team, bad team handicap. Nashville playing exceptional ball right now, 7-2-4. DC United 3 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses. The sportsbook reflects what I just said. Nashville, -175, the biggest home favorite of the week. The draw is at +300, which might actually show some value there. The away, +440 for DC United, down and out. We saw Benteke leaving again. He just had like a thumb or a wrist or something. He walked out on the Red Bull match at Red Bull Arena, I guess 3 weeks ago. He's back. He was hurting something. I don't know what it is, but may affect his ability to play. Over 2.5 goals, -152. And the under of 2.5 goals is +120. We have 2 official plays, Alex and Deon. Let's throw over to Deon to see what he's got cooking.
Yeah, so in this one, I went with Nashville to win this and over 2.5 goals for a +114. I didn't just like the straight up home odds for Nashville, but I think that if Nashville loses one, it's going to be it's bad if they do, because they're averaging 2.8 goals. They're at home, and DC United are allowing 3 goals on the road. So I really think that Nashville alone can score 3 goals in this. And I think that they'll get the win. They're looking really good at Geodis Park with 6 wins, a draw, and a loss on the season. So I had to go with Nashville, and for the plus money, I went with the over 2.5 goals.
Love it. Getting an update. Christian's Walker Zimmerman is still in concussion protocol. Christian Benteke forced off with an apparent ankle injury. That was just 3 days ago, or 1 day ago, but depending on when you're watching this. It could affect their ability to play. We have a comment here saying, you bet the house on Nashville. Well, I didn't bet the house on Nashville, but I think Alex is going to. Alex, you're taking about minus 160. You don't care that the odds are long.
No,
but
Tech is not 100%. Nashville six wins out of like 8 games at home. Last year, I think they only won 5 games all year at home. They're on fire at home. I don't like DC United at all. I know that blip against DC, Red Bull was a blip, honestly. I don't like their roster at all. I don't like DC United at all, period. Nashville, to me, I know these odds stink, but I don't see them losing this game. Mukhtar looks happy again. Things are good in Nashville. Home crowd, I compared Nashville and Charlotte like that, the SEC football crowd. Home games there now, man, are tough. If you're a visiting, that's a tough thing, especially after the way they just played on Wednesday night. I thought they looked pretty good against the Red Bulls on Wednesday night. I expect them to continue on Saturday at home. I expect them to win this game. I expect them to win this game easily.
2 official plays here. Alex with Nashville minus 160. Deon pairing Nashville with an over of 2.5 goals at plus 114. I think that those are 2 fantastic bets, although they just fell short on my card. Now I'm kind of comparing what I feel with what I feel the odds should be. So I'm getting like the implied probability and my own probability and comparing them. And I just don't like the numbers that the sports book. It's just long odds for me. I like getting those plus money plays when we can. Moving on, in an actual rivalry here, the Portland Timbers are hosting the Seattle Sounders. Portland, they drew Salt Lake City 0-0 midweek. Portland is 3 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss at home, with their only loss being to the Vancouver Whitecaps on opening day. Seattle, they're traveling from LA, where they lost 4-0 to LAFC on Wednesday night. Their away form, 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, and a little bit unpredictable, kind of up and down without any, kind of basis behind it. We do have a couple of official plays here. No, just myself. Let me go through reading the odds first. The Timbers, plus 170 to win, plus 250 for the draw. And these Seattle Sounders are actually the road favorites, plus 140. You have minus 138 on the over 2.5 goals and plus 114 on the under of 2.5 goals. My official play here is going to be the Timbers draw no bet at plus 106. I just think they got a chance, right? They're at home. I think this is a fantastic number. Seattle's a bit unpredictable, so I am taking the draw no bet. I'm not taking Portland straight up, but I don't think unpredictability is good against a team like Portland. Seattle have a plus 9 home differential and a minus 7 road differential. They have the perfect example of MLS home and away splits. And that's why when I punched these numbers in, I got some results that I had expected, which was that I'd be betting on Portland. Scott, I see you looking at these odds here. What's going through your mind?
Just it's what you're saying. Seattle's kind of a different team on the road. And look, I get it. This rivalry is intense. Teams step up and they play to a level that they don't play in the rest of the year and stuff like that. In a vacuum, Seattle's better. There's a weird history of Seattle, actually it's not Seattle, but it's just road teams. The road teams have a weird history of winning these matchups in this rivalry. I don't care. I think this is Portland's game. I think this is Portland's game to kind of lose, as it were. So I like the way that you've approached this with the draw no bet, a little security. I
actually had to just recheck the odds to make sure there wasn't an error in my numbers. I'm like, Portland can't be home. Oh yeah, plus 170. Go get them.
Okay. Seattle's kind of a better team in a vacuum. Seattle's a better team this year, but it's like you said, just not on the road, not the same levels of consistency and stuff like that. They just got beat 4-0 on the road. Who was that? LAFC. Yeah, LAFC is a good team, but I mean they got hammered.
Yeah, one official play here. Let's move right along. Matchday 14 has San Diego FC hosting Sporting KC San Diego. On the winning side, 7 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. Sporting KC had like that little mini burst of good to get them 3 wins, but then they have 2 draws and 8 losses. They are playing this one at Snapdragon Stadium. Looking at the odds, San Diego FC minus 175, plus 420 for Sporting KC if you favor that side, and plus 310 if you like the draw. Over 2.5 goals, minus 174. I guess people are finally onto Anders Dreyer here. Under 2.5 goals, plus 142. We have one official play here, and it's going to go right to Scott.
Well, I have a strong lean towards San Diego at home. Minus 175 wasn't really going to do it for me. So I took an over. It's not over 2.5, it's over 3.5. And that puts me at plus 140. Is it a little bit of a stretch for 4 goals? It's a little bit of a stretch. It's maybe slightly more than I would normally want. This is San Diego, not quite San Jose, but SKC is a team who can score and concede.
Killed me last night. Killed me last night. I had 3 bets in the 80th minute or later, bust out, and it was Sporting KC scoring 2 goals. That hurt the most.
Yeah, it hurt me too. I would have liked them to just roll over and die at halftime, but they didn't. And that's sort of the thing. They have been on an upward trend actually since they fired Peter Vermees, and that's sort of what I'm banking on. I don't need them to be great or anything like that. I just need them to continue a little upward trend. I need San Diego to just be exactly who they are. And we should see 4 goals in this game.
Love that handicap. Let's move along to our final game. The LA Galaxy hosting LAFC. This one will be at Dignity Health Sports Park, not at Rose Bowl Stadium. I kind of enjoy those a little bit more, I think. 9 p.m. on a Sunday. That's a great time for a match if you live on the East Coast. Here we have LA Galaxy down and out, plus 210 home odds, plus 250 for the draw, and plus 110 for LAFC if you favor that play. I'm going to say it. LA Galaxy isn't going without a win this season. Is this likely? No. Is it MLS after dark? Yes. Is it MLS the day after? Yes. It checks all those boxes. There is definitely volatility here, and I don't want to take LAFC at plus 110. I can't be doing that to myself, but I can't take LA Galaxy either. It's tough. We saw LA Galaxy play without Paintsil and Peck, who were injured. So none of the 3 Ps when they fell 3-2 to Philadelphia after losing midweek after losing 7-0 to Red Bull last weekend. They're down and out. But someone talk me out of it, Scott.
I'm not going to talk you out of it. I think LAFC win this game. The Galaxy are bad. And honestly, if you ask me, what are the Galaxy good at? Nothing. They're not good defensively. They're not good offensively. They're bad in the midfield. The goalkeeping is just okay, and that is mostly due to the poor quality in front of the goalkeeper. LAFC, on the other hand, LAFC are hot. They're in good form. I don't see... I'm with you. Will the Galaxy go the whole season without winning a game? No. They're going to win eventually. But if you take that little voice out, that the Galaxy will eventually win a game, and look at this one as it is, why should the Galaxy win this game? Why should the Galaxy get anything out of this game? They shouldn't. There's no good reason for that. And so I am taking LAFC at the plus odds and saying thank you.
Connor saying, I wish I can bring in Denny for fantasy, but you can't switch on a double game week. Oh, okay. I think he's talking about Denny Bouanga, bring him in fantasy soccer. Sorry, I had to translate in my head there for a second. I hope you do something well with all the minutes you saved by not spelling everything out for me. That shorthand really, I hope that 3 seconds really serves you well this week. Deon, you have an official play in this one too.
Yeah, so I went with one again, just trying to get some positive results for a weekend here, and I went with LAFC to have team total of over 1.5. I think Lopez said that it's going to be over 5 goals in this match. That might be a little bit too much, but I could see there being goals in this match because LAFC on the road are giving up 2.3 goals per match. So I think LA Galaxy get on the board in this one, but I think LAFC, they're averaging almost 2 goals on the road, and the Galaxy are allowing 2.4. I think we're definitely going to see LAFC at least score 2, at least.
I will be on that side of the play too. My official play here is LAFC team total over 1.5 at -108. Same thing Deon has. Scott's taking LAFC straight up, and Alex is avoiding this with extreme prejudice.
Yeah. I'm not touching this game, man. Listen, LA Galaxy lost a game where they didn't give up a shot on goal a couple weeks ago. Then they lost to Philadelphia. They got throat punched by Philadelphia 2 goals late by Baraboo. They're due, man. And this is a rivalry game. I don't like this game at all. I'm afraid. Like, I don't know the status of Paintsel and Peck. If they're playing, man, I do not like this game. I do believe goals in this game, but this is a rivalry game, man. Throw the records out the window. I know LA Galaxy haven't won. LFC looks good, but all eyes point at LFC. That's why I do not like this game. Short week. Galaxy are due, man. I'm not saying this is the week, but they've lost last couple weeks. Heartbreakers. They're due. One of these days, the ball's going to bounce their way. Could be this week. That's why I'm not touching this game. I'm not saying they're going to win,
LAFC,
but I will not be surprised if this is the first win of the year. I will not be surprised.
LAFC does have the advantage that they're not traveling, and they won early, so they were able to sub. Edgar from News Across the Galaxy, one of my favorite friend podcasts, one that I'm on frequently. Some LAFC fans have expressed concern they will lose this match. Yes, because it stinks of a trap. LAFC is going to win 4-2.
Yes.
Belonga gets a brace. I am okay with that.
That
and
sounds
LAFC
like it should happen.
If LAFC
looking good,
this
drawing
match,
Whitecaps and destroying Sounders.
Look, if LAFC loses this match, they'll never hear the end of it. I think that's why LAFC fans are concerned. If the Galaxy had a win already this season, the pressure that like, oh well, the Galaxy might, or if LAFC loses or whatever, like that would be gone. It's just because the Galaxy are at 0 and LAFC desperately doesn't want to be the first. But I don't think the players are approaching it that way. They're just preparing.
No, because
like
the Galaxy just played at Red Bull Arena in a match that was you want to prove, hey, we won MLS Cup. We don't want to get blown out by the team that, had some weird circumstances, couldn't perform, gave up too early. We saw how that went. I don't think the inspiration for Galaxy is coming, and I don't think it's coming from the coach. I don't think it's coming from anyone on the field.
How long is this Vanny's leash is all I'd like to know. How long is the leash? You want a cup and now you got no win this year. It's a weird situation, but the fans are restless. What do you do?
Me and Edgar talked about that on the show, and I think he has a longer leash than a lot of people in LA land think. I think that you can't blame him for all the injuries, and it's a bad assembled team with the salary cap, with the inability to get GAM and bring in better players. I mean, they could switch players out, but they can't bring in more quality. So I think that if you want to blame that on him, okay, but I'm not necessarily going to. He's not going to, control Puja's ACL. He can't control Paintsel. What do you have, a hamstring? That's going to be nagging him for a whole lot of time. Let's see what Edgar has to say here. I'm sure it's insightful. After the last 2 matches, Galaxy fans have given up on Vanny. They are ready to move on. Yeah, so what I said when I was on the Galaxy show was this, like, if you want someone who's going to change the formation and win with the current players, it's not Greg Vanny. We know what Greg Vanny needs. Greg Vanny would be like a great, like, English, like, bottom of the Premier League coach. Like, go out and get your guys. We're going to have a really deep depth chart, and they're all going to fit the system. That's not what he has now. But you need going into this season. So like, if there's so many things at work, but I just think that for Vanny, that he's not the one to get you out of this mess. So either you bear it, get healthy, make some changes, and improve the squad for next year, or you should have fired him 5 weeks ago. Like, I don't really see what is another 3 games going to show? Are you really getting new film you've never seen on Greg Vanny or this Galaxy squad? Probably not, right?
I don't know. Will they do anything in the summer transfer window? That's another question I have. If they do something, it means they're all in on Vanny. If they don't do anything, I think Vanny's days are numbered. That's what I look at it as.
I think they will. They need big time help in the midfield, even
defense too. Their defense is bad. It's bad.
Yeah, and those are places where they can shed salary, and even if they don't get like a lot better in terms of the players they bring in, they can shed salary and set themselves up for future acquisitions. So I would definitely see changes coming in the summer window.
I would love to see what they can do. They're going to have to sell some players for some GAM money. I was throwing a couple players out that I might like to take. I would take Yamane. I'll take him in a second on Red Bull. We have $2 million in GAM? Send it over. Get yourself a nice wing back. Go back to that 5-man back line. Like, Galaxy has really good pieces. They're just not necessarily ideal for what the team wants to go out with, so we haven't seen Fagundes play well, and he stepped in really, really well for Peck for just bunches of the season. We'll see. Anyway, 36 minutes in, you have our official plays for the week, gentlemen. And any final thoughts on what we're doing here on the show?
There's some really good picks. I'm really excited about Alex's Charlotte and both teams to score. And
plus 250, man. I know. I saw that. I was like, come on. Let's roll the dice. What the hell?
I love that one. I feel like this is going to be a good week for the show. Love it.
My last piece of advice is with the midweek matches. A lot of people didn't study. There's a lot of dumb money coming in right now. And once the Sharks get in, you're going to see the odds start moving. So what we give now on Thursday night may not be the same as Friday, won't be the same as Saturday, but we hope you check it out and make some great picks for yourself. Thank you for joining us here on the Designated Pundits. Make sure you tune in Monday when we recap our plays.